All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, we're in here working on the race car today. My coilover stuff should be here in a little bit later, so I'm gonna go home and check the mail here in a minute and see. Anyways, I figured I'd get back to you on this. I went to SRI and got the brake lines I needed to do the wheels. I ended up getting these at 14 inches. This brake line right here. So what I did, I went through and got me a little -3 fitting. Let me turn this around right here so the camera don't flip. That'll screw in right here. So I gotta put some thread tape on that. What happens is we can go through and I'm gonna turn this all the way around to where it comes inside, and that allows me to put my -3 hose on it right here. Keep in mind, it's gonna be coming towards the inside. The suspension is all the way down as far as it'll go. It'll never be at this area. So when I flip this around all the way, I'm gonna be able to take my brake line, and it should, I'm either gonna use that fitting or I might even use the straight fitting to give me some more distance. Cause I bought some 14 inches and I bought some 18-inch ones. So I figure 18 inches for fronts, but I might just do the straight fitting right here. But anyways, I also got these little deals right here. It goes brake line to -3. And what the plan is, that right there is a double bubble. So I'm gonna cut the double bubble off, and I'm gonna use a fitting like this. I'm gonna re-flare the end and put a flared end on it like that. And ideally, what I plan on doing, I'm gonna come up in here, clean this up right there, and I'm gonna throw a couple of tack welds right there on that. And that way the metal line will screw to the inside of there, and then like that, and then my brake line will run right on down here, right down there to my wheel. All right, now, so this is what it looks like to buy one of these kits. I ended up getting the shocks and stuff. They got shipped from a different place. But anyways, here's the bar that we weld in. I'm gonna unbox it real quick. Let me get all this stuff unboxed. All right, so we got our mounting bracket here, our bar to go across it. We got welder brackets on. We got our springs here. This box here, we got our mounting brackets, tabs that weld on that bar, and the brackets that weld on the 8/8. We got all our bolts, and then in these boxes we have our shocks. Let me get them unboxed real quick. All right, so we got 2 of everything. We got our little spherical bushings that go in the end of the shocks with our clips on both sides. So we got 4 of those. We got 2 of the lock collars, 2 of the ride height adjusters. We got 2 of the top seats. We got all the bearings and the races so it spins up and down freely. And we got some shims right here for it too. We even got 2 spanner wrenches. You only need 1. I guess if somebody wants to get nice and get underneath there and help you adjust it. And then we got the 2 shocks. So I'm gonna start by taking these right here and putting the C-clips in and go ahead and put them in the shocks themselves. That'll be the first step. All right, so I figured I'd do a video right here on this. So basically, you're supposed to put an anti-seize on here. I didn't have no anti-seize, so I done grease I had right here. And I only done it on the bottom few threads. I started right here, I put grease on it. That way it don't get stuck, because it says it'll seize them up if you don't put a grease on them or an anti-seize. So I put some there. Next, we'll have this flat washer here that goes on it. Then you'll drop your spring on it. The flat washer goes right here. You'll drop your spring onto it, and then I'll get the rest of it on here. So this is the top mount. What you do, you put your race, your bearing, and your race. Let's see, you can't put it on here yet. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take them like this, and you're gonna set them down on here like that. Then you slide it up into the pocket, and it holds it in. Now, once I lift it back up, I'm gonna take the slack out of the bottom of it, and then I'm gonna set my ride height once I get it back on the car and I get the wheels under it. All right, so I measure my rear end. It's a little bit, but both my anti-roll bar, one's about a ½ inch to the left more than the one to the right, so I had to accommodate for that. But anyways, I went through and I measured this out, and the top bar has to be, on the high side, it has to be 34 inches, basically, from this side here to the end. On this side here, it has to be 33.5 inches because the frame rails go at a bevel. So what we do, we come in here and we mark our center line on it right here. So half of 34. So we come in here at 17. So we got our center line right here marked. So in between them two, to come in between them two, then our roll bar brackets, it's gonna be 18. So they're gonna be 18 inches apart. So now I'm gonna come off here and I'm gonna measure 9 inches and 9 inches. I'm gonna lay these brackets. So first I gotta make sure that my slant is this way. I gotta make sure my slant's this way, which I can remark this. This is really not that big of a deal. But I gotta come in here and take these, set them up. What I'm gonna do, because this is how it's gonna set in the car, I'm gonna take them like this and I'm gonna set them off the floor. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna set them up on here and I'm gonna bolt them together. I'm gonna square them 90 and I'm gonna spot them. Two different ones right here at the right spacing that those shocks are right there. The bottom little eyelet on the shocks is spherical bushing. So I'm gonna come in here and mark this and I'm gonna weld it. Sorry. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna mark it, I'm gonna weld it and get them set up. And then I'm gonna come back after I get that set up, then I'm gonna trim my ends. So that way I know exactly, I can get it right where I want it to be with this all the way up against the floor like I need it to be. Check this out. So what I did, they got spacers on it too, so we went and spaced them. We want our center line to be at 19 because that's the bracket that we're welding on the rear end, which is that bracket right there. So we want it to be on the center line. So we're gonna put this in here. I'm gonna spot weld it right here on it because I got my angle, my slant angle at the angle I want it to be at. So I'm gonna spot weld this one and then I'm gonna take my other shot, or I might even take this one loose, put it on that side and spot weld it and get them spotted where I want it, check it, pull it back loose, weld it all the way, and then I'll cut my angles I need and I'll be ready to weld this bar in and get the top bar mounted, and then I can go from there to doing the lower ones on the rear end. Now this is upside down. This is gonna be the top. So eventually that's gonna be over on this side. So, but that spherical bushing is exactly the same. So it didn't matter which way, it's just sitting here. Well, just look at that. Ain't too bad for an old wire welder. That's probably the best weld I've welded in probably 10 years. So I bought one, not a helmet like this, but I bought a welding helmet years ago. It's actually over there in the trash. You can see it sticking out. I paid like $100 for that thing years ago. Well, over the years, you don't really realize how bad something's getting until you get something new. And the reason why I say that is because this helmet here is new. It has new shields and all on it. New protected. That thing, the shields come off of it. You can keep welding. So for a long time, I haven't been able to see when I weld. I just pretty much guess as I'm welding. You know what I mean? Like you look at it like, okay, it's good. But tonight, so that one had the auto darkening had went bad on it. So I had took all that crap out and just put a single, like a stick weld, little $12 piece of glass that you can buy at Lowe's in the helmet and used it like you would a stick welding helmet. Well, it's hard. It's super hard because it's dark. You got to open and shut your helmet, all that crap. Well, tonight I went and bought me one of these at Lowe's. I was like, well, because I had dropped it the other day and it broke the glass in here. So I was like, well, heck, I need a new helmet to weld this stuff in. So I went and bought a new helmet tonight, and it's night and day difference. I can actually see. It's great. It's crazy how cheap I am over something as stupid as a $100 helmet. I'm over here welding a race car together with a cheap helmet or $12 piece of glass over just buying a $100 helmet that would make it see where I put out a better product than what I normally would, because now I can actually see the weld like I used to. So, anyway, I figured I'd give you that little tip. Like I said, that bar turned out good. The welds don't look bad at all. There's penetration on them's good and hot. They're not bad. Like I said, they're not the best welds I've ever done, but at least I could see weld. So they can only get better from here on out. So now I'm going to trim this bar, and we're going to go ahead and clean it up underneath it. I'm going to start putting it in. We got the bar welded in up here, still smoking. In here putting some paint on it. Missed a little spot. Once you put a little tack weld on it, and you make sure it's up and down perfect. Worked out good. I have this bar here that allowed it to go from there to there. So now I'm going to come back and I'm going to burn it in real quick. I'm going to clean it up. I got to take a wire brush and come around the edge here. Hit it with a wire brush around through there. That way we get a cleaner surface to weld to. Hope all my video wasn't blurry. I just cleaned my screen off, but look. Oh, water ain't doing too bad around through there. Look at it. I need to put a little bit more paint right there. It really shows up in the camera. It ain't too bad though. I'm gonna paint them links too while I'm at it. I'm gonna go ahead and black all that out. Well, it looks pretty good under the back of here. But I made a rookie mistake while I was welding. I'm gonna shine everything around, see if y'all can recognize it. I realized after I started welding, I said, I was like, man, I can't believe you just did that, and you were just talking about it. You were just talking about it. Can you see it? I ain't gonna tell you. You don't recognize it, you don't recognize it, but I did it. And if I ever had to do something to it, I'll just have to do something different. But it looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm got a few more things I'm gonna do tonight, and then I'm gonna call it a night. What we got here, it's a dual pass derail kit with a fan. I bought off Chase Badger's son, Honey Badger's son, heck, a few years ago, I think, honestly. And I ain't never used it on my car, so we're gonna go through and we're gonna use it this year. I'm gonna go on, and since I don't have the cooler over there with the bilge pump in it and the wires are already run, then I figure we'll just throw this underneath the back of it, get rid of my one that's at the front, because the one at the front don't have a fan on it. It's only a single pass. So I figure we'll just run this dual pass, run me some hard lines back here, hook them up to the fan, and I'll hook it up to the cooler. And that way it'll put more weight here towards the back of the car. Plus, it'll move all this to the back. And with this cooler and stuff, it should work really, really, really good. So it ain't looking bad. Look at it. We keep messing around, we're gonna turn around and have us a little street car. Look at her. It's looking better and better. You got the brakes over there. We're getting a little modernized. Modern, I can't say it. We're getting a little modernized or whatever. So like I said, we got this little fan back here. And I know it ain't nothing special, but I thought it was kind of cool. I had welded this bolt right here. I'd welded it on top. And I come around here and got to looking, and I was gonna put a bolt in here. Well, I didn't realize the fuel cell bolt was here. So I said, well, heck, I'll just re-drill that, put my little nut on it. And that's what I did. So I'm gonna get up here and go ahead and hook these wires up tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and wire them in. That way the fan will come on when we rev the car. Anything, I think I got it set like 2,800 RPMs or something. So anytime the car revs up past 2,800, it'll kick this fan on. That way when we're on the trans brake or going down the track, but then when we come back down the staging lanes and up to the staging lanes, it ain't gonna be running because the transmission don't get hot then anyway. So it'll be all right. It'll work out good. Well, that's all I got for you tonight. Or, well, hold on a minute. Let me go and get this wired. I run my wire down through there, got it wired in. Let's go through and try it. Cross your fingers, hope it works. So we get on RPM activation right here. Select it, scroll over. She's working. Thing's moving some air. That's awesome. Need to cut the headlights off in it. Here we go. Something happened to my headlight. Park lights are staying stuck on for some reason. A button right there feels like it's messed up. I had to get a button for it. Look. I have to get a switch for it. I guess it might have shorted out the side of it or something. Something's come apart. But we got it. So, anyways, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'll see y'all one later. Thank you.